So the first thing, again, what we're going to talk about is how painters actually estimate or how contractors estimate. So Tom ran his business out of Atlantic City for quite a while, I think 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5 years.
Doing general contracting work, and he pretty much took it all on. If somebody said, Tom, can you do it? His answer was yes. So yeah, and me too in the past. I definitely got good at saying no over the years. So the question that I have for you, Tom, that I want you to share with everybody, since we're talking about painting today, we'll keep it there. We'll keep it focused. But so when somebody called you and asked for a painting estimate and you were doing the general contracting, what did you do? Like, you went to the house, and then how did you actually create your estimate?
Well, basically, I would go there, take measurements. But every house is different.
Okay.
So what I did, I would usually just go online, and there was like a website. I think it's called like HomeWise or some home.com. I think it was HomeWise.com.
Yeah, we had talked about that.
And basically, I would just take my square footage and put into this basic. I don't even know what it was, but
and what, it would give you a price?
It would give you a price, like a labor thing. But every time I did that, honestly, I always fell short. And
all right,
it wasn't enough information either. There was nothing to account. It was just
all right. Yeah, I mean that's not really uncommon from what I used to do. I mean, I used to think about like how much did I want to make. That was the only question that I asked myself.
I didn't even do that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's what I would do. All right. Well, yeah. So we'll jump in. That's definitely one of the ways that we'll cover. So if you guys have certain ways that you're estimating right now, or that you've estimated in the past that you feel probably weren't quite up to par with actually creating a system, you can share them with us in the chat. But what we'll do is start to talk about the different ways that people estimate if they don't have a system. So the first way that we're going to talk about is that they actually think to themselves, like, how much do I want to make, like I used to do. So the reason that this is bad and probably the incorrect way to go about things is that when you price based off of emotion, you really like limit yourself. So what I mean by that is pretty much like if you're a business owner and you go to an estimate and right now work is slow, if somebody asks you to lower your price, you're very apt to do that to keep your guys busy or even to just keep yourself busy. Now, that's not necessarily wrong. I wouldn't say that. You have bills to pay. You have a life to support. The problem with that is it's limiting to your future growth. What you should be doing is spending your time tweaking your marketing to get to the right customers and determining like your target demographic, like the type of people that will pay the price that you're asking. When you do that, it allows to grow the kind of company that all of you guys on this call or on this video meeting today are interested in growing. Because if you weren't interested in doing that, you wouldn't even be here today. Most people, when they start out in business, they have pretty high aspirations, and that's what they're looking to do: grow a real business and make it as big as possible. So the potential problem, bullet point number 3, I kind of touched on that a little bit, but so if you have that worry, if you have that like fear that if you don't drop your price when work is slow, like how it might be for a lot of us right now in the winter, when you start dropping your price and you take on any work, you can't grow. But the way that you can combat that is to start like tweaking your marketing, and there's a huge list of things that you can do. So we've listed out a few of them for you today here. So you start to build more value with your customer. Number 1, if you learn about sales through like Eric Barstow's program, Painting Business Pro, he's really, really great at like teaching about sales. You guys, like I said, probably know about him already. 2, he can ask lots of questions and give your customer like a custom estimate every single time. 3, give them different options. 4, show up on time, be more like professional. 5, create like a client manual where you talk about like have this already prepared. Like you talk about like your previous work, your reviews, the warranties that you offer, that kind of stuff. If you guys don't have a website, you could build websites for free with a website builder called Wix. It's like if you have basic computer knowledge, you can turn something that would cost thousands of dollars into something that you could do free, actually. But to get rid of ads and stuff like that, you might have a small fee per month, like $30 a month or something like that. But in comparison to paying a website designer, we just got done rebuilding our website in Princeton, and a rebuild cost us $2,000. Until you get to that point, it's not really worth it. So start out with something, free, and it builds a lot of legitimacy in your company rather than not having a website, because everything's done online these days. Number 9, we're going to want to get like a lot of online reviews. I would focus strictly on Google because that'll also help build your price. But the one that we're actually going to talk about today is how to create professional estimates, because if you present a nice, clean looking estimate that's done by a system versus like a number on the back of a business card or whatever other way you might be presenting, it speaks volumes. That right there alone builds the value in your company. And the other things are also good to do, but we're going to focus on that one today. A little challenge for you guys, just on a personal note, and to like help you guys in the future to grow your businesses. I would pick 2 of the things off this list that you're not currently doing that you feel would be the most valuable, and try to do them at your next estimate. The next time that you have an estimate, pick 2 of them. And if you don't, if you haven't been giving them different options, or if you haven't been presenting a client manual, maybe those are 2 things that you could try, and you'll see personally how big of a difference it can make. All right, so that's the first way that people estimate. Second way that people estimate that aren't currently using a system is that they just know their prices, and they've been doing it for so long. So again, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Again, it's limiting because you can't train people on what's in your head. If you don't put it in writing and create a system, a written system around it, you really can't ever grow a team. And it's limiting. I mean, it's other than that, it's not a horrible thing that you're a professional and you've done it for years and you really know what you're doing. But you work hard, so just take the time to create a real system, and then you can start to enjoy the benefits of business ownership, like I felt last year. And when you start to enjoy that, you can do whatever you want with your free time. It's like that's the reason usually that people get into business, is because there's benefits of it. So try not to, by creating systems, you start to move away from owning a job, and you actually own a business that operates independent of you. And that's a good goal to have for yourselves. So number 3, I actually stole from Tom in preparation for this webinar. So this was a website that I actually had seen before, but they type it into Google and use a calculator like HomeWise. So there's a couple things that just strike me right off the bat as like being a problem with this. Number 1, it's kind of lazy. Even if you do put a lot of effort into your work, to give a very like cut and dry cookie cutter estimate like that, especially when it comes to your pricing, you're not protecting yourself or your customer. So you may really be underpricing your work or overpricing your work, depending on what kind of number this calculator shoots out. So you need to know the numbers that actually work in your own business, like as far as like how much it costs you to be in business every single day. So a simple calculation for that, to get like a round number there, would be like all of your overhead expenses for 1 month divided by 30. Now you know how much it costs for you to be in business every single day. And that's an important number to know if you guys don't already know that. 4th checkpoint, there's many variations of these methods. So if you guys, again, if you have anything that I'm unaware of or anything like that, it would definitely be something that I'm interested in hearing. So definitely shoot it into the chat window.